Hello. Hello. And welcome everybody to Shotcast number 82. We are here joined by ourselves, the trio. Yeah, we are so back. The reason actually, it might be my bad why we had a break.
Explain yourself.
Where's it, bro?
Explain yourself.
Now that you reminded me. So it seems we had a bit of a break because I was kind of playing a Trackmania map called Shallow Dip 2.
It's very cool.
I streamed for 4 days straight, basically 10 hours for 3 days, 10, 11 hours for 3 days straight. And I had to skip the episode. Then these guys were busy on the weekend, and then I had my birthday, and now we're here, and it's Tuesday. Hey, welcome everybody. We did skip a week, but I did beat the map, by the way.
You won. You beat the map faster than anyone. You're selling yourself short here for once.
And we are so proud of you, Rizzo. We are so proud of your accomplishments. 40 hours in.
Thank you. 32. It took me 32.
Also,
but
can we talk about how cool the Trackmania event is just quickly? You know, the whole deep dip 2, deep dip, map.
Shallow deep, deep and shallows.
Shallow deep dip in the kiddie pool version the Riz is playing. It's actually really cool, and I've been watching a bit of that content. It's kind of blowing up actually. Kind of blowing up.
The first day of that, by the way, Virtual had like 80,000 viewers on the first day of Deep Dip 2.
What? Really? I didn't see.
It was massive. And now he's averaging like 20K. I think usually, like his normal streams, he averages like 6K, like before Deep Dip.
Deep Dip.
So now he's averaging like 15 to 20 each stream, but it's just a massive
jump.
And anybody
has he finished it yet?
No,
nobody's finished the map. I think it's been at least 3 weeks since the map came out. So for anybody who doesn't know, it's basically like one of those
like Scissors death runs.
Yeah, like Scissors. It's like basically a Trackmania death run. I forget the name of the games, but they're called like something. It starts with an F. But anyway, basically you do the run, and if you fall, you just restart. If you die, you restart. Essentially, so it takes a very long time to be able to practice the higher floors. And streamers and pro Trackmania players have been playing that map for like 170 hours. Some of them are around 170 hours, and nobody's beaten the map still. So, yeah, like
I haven't tried it yet.
Freudian type games like Bennett Foddy, or Fodian, something like that. Someone said Freudian, somebody said Fodian. I think it's Fodian.
Fodian sounds better.
Something like that, but it's a Trackmania map, very hard, obviously. And I played the baby version of it, and that's the one I completed. And it took me 32 hours to beat the baby version, so that's why we missed Shotcast.
You did well. We loved it,
right? You'd played Trackmania before a little bit.
I played Trackmania before. Yeah, my hours in Trackmania, over a fourth of my hours are on that map. It's like 30% of my hours. I have like 105 hours, and I played 32 on that map.
I saw the improvement though. Myself and Johnny tuned in each day that we were meant to be doing Chalked. We played a bit of League of Legends or something like that whilst watching your stream. One of our favorite, things you did during your speed run. We loved your little go arounds that you do just to line things up. You're sharking.
Yeah,
you was
like
really
that.
circling each kind of obstacle before you went in, even though they looked really simple. Like you'd circle 20 times and then just drive in a straight line and hop off into this massive platform. And Johnny be like, "Wait, was that it?" So that was really good to watch.
Yeah.
Happy birthday as well, by the way. I will call you out. I did call you out on stream.
Not 30, but thank you.
I did call you out on stream for your 30th. Nope. You know, you did say, I forgot it was my birthday, can't do Chalked. And then I got a notification, Rizzo is now live on Twitch. You did a viewing party of the RLCS on your birthday, but no Chalk. So,
well, the timing was because I had a dinner at the time, so like we couldn't do Chalk. That's why.
Yeah, well, we saw where the priorities were. The viewing party was up. The Chalk was not on, but hopefully you had a good 31st birthday.
Yeah, again, not 31st years old. I am 27.
32.
Nice, young, and spry,
buddy. You're looking great for 32, actually.
Okay,
really
thanks. I do appreciate
really
it, guys. Thank you. So I might as well not even try anymore. Anyway, there was a lot of Rocket League stuff that happened, by the way. NA is completely done. We are finished. Actually, this time. The season, not the season, but all the online events are over for NA. You have your major teams that are completely locked, and you have actually your World Championship teams. They're all the same. We have G2, Gen G, OG, and SSG. SSG ended up yoinking that spot from LG. Basically, even though they didn't make the first major, just consistent play throughout the season, kept getting great placements, kept running into Gen G and losing, but they beat all the teams they were supposed to beat, so they were able to take that final spot for the World Championship.
Yeah, it was insane.
Devastation.
I mean, I would have liked to see. They were both major ready teams. I was reparting as well. It's insane matches. But yeah, they were. I think they were both major quality teams. So I wanted to see both of them there. There's just not enough teams at the majors right now, from EU and NA. But OG deserve it. I mean, you can't take away from them. They literally won the tiebreak, so they deserve to go. But I wanted to see SR go because it would have kept the, what do you call it, the tiebreak alive for Worlds. I think
love
they're
a
no,
tiebreak.
actually, I don't think no. Actually, I think the tiebreaker for Worlds was dead. I think that scenario was dead. But what was alive was there was a chance that SR could make top 8 at London to qualify for Worlds, which would be an insane story if they did that. So that would have been cool to see. I also don't think they would have been favorites for that. So OG would have probably still gone to Worlds. But yeah, SR were really impressive. I thought all weekend Shopify Rebellion played really well. They were playing aggressive Rocket
Fully
League.
agree.
Yeah.
Two-piece, the best player in the event at times. Parth never looked. I think that's his best event I've ever seen from him as well. Justin looked back at his best. They look great. I was really happy that this style of Rocket League that they were playing. When they hit a road bump, they didn't change the game plan. They just kept going. They were like, "Nah, this is fine. You lose games sometimes. You don't need to panic. You don't need to get like scared of losing like a lot of teams do." They just kept going aggressively. Super entertaining to watch. But
Yeah, my unbiased POV, obviously fully unbiased. I'm disappointed they didn't make it because, as you said, statistically, they have the best offense in North America. Well, all the stats say they have the worst defense and the best offense, which I think is why they're an exciting team and would be good to watch.
Is their stat actually the worst defense?
Yeah, overall defensive stats have the worst defense.
What
all
is
three
that,
players.
Like, they concede the most goals.
They concede the most goals, but also score the most goals in the region.
Yeah, somebody said full glass cannon.
full glass cannon build, and which is exciting to watch. But it was cool. Like the tiebreaker was cool to see because it's such a stylistic difference. Like OG, like love them, and I think if you're a fan of structured, bit more structured Rocket League, and when I say structured, it's not really because they kind of chase demos a lot, but it's a lot less flashy Rocket League OG play. And it's it's like a team oriented game, whereas it felt like, yeah, you got Glass Cannon, Shopify, so it's a bit of I called OG out because I thought they played boring, like demos are boring, but it is fun watching com demo chase. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they've got a good style for LAN. I'd say that with OG, but then you think about it, Copenhagen, and they barely beat APAC. But
OG
surely they weren't in form.
You mean OG style is good for LAN?
Oh, I think so. Just because it's like demo heavy, structured, very safe, structured, demo heavy kind of style, a bit slower. They kind of leave the ball first.
Their style is okay for LAN. I don't think their style is the problem. I think there are too many really good teams right now. That's the issue. For OG, they're consistent, but I don't think the level that they're at consistently is top 8. And if you
I agree with you. I think it's a good style, but I don't think they're good enough.
Yeah, their consistent style is but they're consistently in and out of the top 10 in the world. I'd say they're their good is like 9th, 10th, and then their bad is like 14th, 15th in the world. By the way, not on LAN, because at LAN we don't have the like 15 best teams because you're missing like NA5, EU5, EU6, EU7, etc. etc. Sam, like 3 and 4 are also really insane teams right now. So I think that the difficulty for them right now is that there are just so many really, really good teams. But hey, they did beat Gen G this split in Event 2. That's the most hopeful result for OG, is they beat Gen G, who are a certified top 8 team in the world. So they can do it. They can do it.
Look,
they definitely.
They just credit to OG because they just look extremely like just on the same page and playing. They play differently to everyone else. They just know when to go for demos and really solid team. So credit to them. They put in a lot of work because, as we said, Copenhagen, they didn't look good. And they just kept picking it back up. They get back to NA online, get on that boot camp, and they look good. Clutched up. And how cool is it to see a little tiebreaker? We haven't had a tiebreaker in like 3 years or something for a LAN spot.
That's all I wanted. I was so sad, and we'll talk a little bit about Sam later, but I was so sad that by the end of Saturday there was no tiebreaker scenarios left for South America because it was lining up for maybe a 4-way tie, 3-way tie, 2-way tie, and then just Saturday ended. Oh, it's over. That's it. There's no ties. I really wanted to see more tiebreakers, but we got one.
We had Gen G phase last year. That's right. I was at AppJack watching. No, it wasn't AppJack watching. It was Who'd you have to do your viewing
No,
part?
so
Was it
Abject was
Mike?
watching. What happened was Optic had to reverse sweep phase
Oh
to
yeah, that was
force a
pretty
tiebreaker.
ODL.
And
That
that
was
was
so funny.
legendary because
Yeah.
Jack was in the call, like he was just losing his mind, like mauling at Optic's inability to close out a 4-0 like lead on Neo Tokyo, and Horizon and I are just like laughing because we can't believe the Optic can't close out a 4-goal lead on Neo Tokyo, but no problem, phase through, so it's even funnier. Yeah, everything Jack said in that whole watch party was just gold, comedy gold, accidental comedy. He's just like he's just terrified for his major spot. But they won it though. They won the tiebreaker against FaZe, so well played to them back then. They were scared this time though. Genji were scared because that tiebreaker would have involved them if the grand final this time around was Shopify beating OG in the final. I think that was the world, right? Where we would have had the 4-way tie in NA. Pretty unlikely because G2 would have had to lose to OG, and when G2 have zero pressure on them and OG are playing for LAN, not gonna happen. It's way too
Yeah, I
much
want to call
pressure.
that Gibbs as well. He had a terrible take after the
What do you say?
after the OG G2 series. Gibbs was like, "Oh, no excuses for OG. Like, you know, G2 had nothing to play for." As if like they're easier to beat when they've got nothing to play for. Like, you know, everything was online for OG. That was their one time to beat G2 when they've already qualified for everything. I was like, no, Gibbs, that's the opposite. That's the hardest time to beat G2. They've got no pressure on them. They're just vibing. You can see beast mode pre-jumping every single play. That's hard to play against.
No, I know. I
according to-
mean, I think if you want to frame it, I think that's like, I don't like that because it's not even positive framing. Like you can flip that story either one way or the other to make somebody to say something nice about a team, right? If G2 lost, for example, you could flip it and say, hey, they're already qualified, so they, you know, didn't need to lock in today, and it's all good. You know, they're probably just trying out a new style, using it to experiment. You could flip it if they did lose positively for G2. You could say they're maybe just testing a new style where beast mode lives in the ceiling, and they lost. No big deal. But they won. So now you want to flip it, I think, the other way around. As that's what I would probably do if I was in the show. Is I'd say, hey, what are you gonna do? You're up against G2 with no pressure on them. Like that's tough. OG have all the pressure. You can't really expect them to deliver a win there. But yeah, when I'm on the show, when I'm on the RLCS show, I don't say the same things I would say on my live stream. On my live stream, I was just like, yeah, G2's obviously got zero pressure, so they're gonna play, I think, better. Like closer to their normal and maybe better than their normal versus OG, who have everything to play for. Because at that time, OG were terrified. OG are thinking, hey, if we lose this, suddenly we're not in control of our own destiny. We're needing someone else to win for us, which sucks. That was high pressure for OG. What is this? Somebody added a Riz fart emote, by the way.
Yeah, Rizzo, can we talk about this? What are you doing with your
I'm
microphone?
trying to see it, but it's not loading in my chat. My chat's not loading, and I'm just gonna guess.
It's loading for me. I can see it.
Is it just a video of my ass? Is that what I'm
It
gonna
is
guess?
a video of your ass. Yeah, I mean, you uploaded this. I think you did. Well, you did this. You streamed this, so it's your own fault. You streamed yourself farting into the microphone, and now we've got it as an emote.
To be fair, I just wanted the noise to go through the mic. I didn't think I would show my whole ass.
That thing was sculpted as well. That rectus abdominis.
I'm sorry. That what?
It was looking good. It's actually a stomach muscle.
Once I saw the clip, it was just, I don't know. Like I just accepted my fate because I didn't realize I showed the whole ass. You know.
Oh, you showed that. You showed that thing. That thing was banging.
It's as if I went in front of the camera and just squatted straight into it. Like it was not even the microphone. It was all about the camera there.
3 dimensions there. That's definitely the whole thing. 3 dimensions. Really HD. In fact, I'm impressed.
Were you wearing like gym shorts or something as well? Like what sort of puppies you had on?
Yeah, and they were pretty like small, so it helped with the scenes. I guess I'll say.
Yeah, I was looking kind of thick. Good to see the work's paying off. Protein shakes and all the rest of it. Keep that shit up, or keep that shit out or in, depending on
like that.
Depending on which way you want that thing moving. But no, that was NA for us. EU also happened. Quick recap. Well, when I say EU quals happened, and I'll tell you what, this nearly took over the NA RLCS. We had NA Championship Sunday gameplay, and everyone's like, whoa, forget about that. Vitality's in the lower bracket. Gentlemates are in the lower bracket. K-Corp's in the lower bracket. It was absolute chaos. Nearly had all the top 4 teams Danny
ridiculous.
Lowell's for you.
I
Yeah, it was
actually
insane.
didn't know that. I only knew that KC was lower bracket because they lost to SSA again. I didn't know the other
That's
teams
not
covered
even the
lower
most
as well.
insane one. That is the least insane result of the day out of the three. So Gentlemates lost to 100% as well, which is, I think, less insane because Sal have beaten KC before. There's some history. But Gentlemates losing to 100% in game 5, where I think they also had a lead and they lost it. They lost to Crispy, Breezy, and why am I blanking?
Crispy.
Hibs? Is it Hibs as well, or is Hibs playing with Griley?
That
I
sounds
always
good.
forget. Chat will know. Oh, is it Triton? Yeah, Triton, Crispy, and Breezy, right? Or no, it's Luis. Sorry, Luis. Yeah, that's right. Luis. Like, what is going on? Ira Triton?
3 people lied, and then as soon as John said it, I was like, John's got to be right. Like,
No, it is. As soon as somebody said Luis, I was like, yeah, I do remember Luis. Yeah, Luis, Triton, and Crispy is like a ridiculous team to be beating Gentlemates in game 5. I mean, they've made main events before, all those guys. But Gentlemates have been more consistent than KC, so nobody expected that. And then there's an even crazier one. Vitality lost to wait, who is it? Who is the sub? Uncle Bill. They lost to Uncle Bill.
Billy.
Billy, who was subbing in for Wild, I believe. I don't think it was even their starting lineup.
Did you see the goalie score where he saved the ball on the goal and then like reversed in and they put the comms up?
No.
Do you see that? Oh my god, it's so funny. Is there oh, here we go. I've got it. Well, I'll put it up.
Yeah, they lost to Tempo, Rixie, and Billy. So Tempo, Emelvald, and Rixie have made multiple main events. Emelvald didn't play this one, and Billy did, and they won.
I actually
won through
have the React thing ready, so might as well.
Can we pull that bad boy up? This is the team that beat Vitality, the world champions. Pull that bad boy up.
Oh, that is a little bit scuffed now, isn't it?
That's alright.
That's good enough. We just need the audio.
Fake it. Okay.
Let me turn that up. Should I share a screen with you guys? You guys want that?
Yeah, so if you want to.
All right, let's see if it lags when I do this.
Fake it. Okay.
I'm watching.
Nice. Oh, again. Again. Oh no!
Leave the comments.
What is that?
Oh, apparently, hold on.
Wait, play it
it's
again.
lagging on stream, apparently. Okay.
Okay,
It's
right.
perfectly fine
right.
for me. Here we go. Okay, Discord. No Discord. No Discord. No
Fake
Discord.
it,
We're seeing it now. We're seeing it now.
Nice. Oh, again. Again. Oh no!
It's still 2 frames per second. Can you like
What am I just seeing?
can you
Wait, this is
show it in a
one.
different
This
way?
is 1 FPS. For
Oh,
real?
there you go. It's better now. Go to the start again.
Hold on. There is
It's fixed.
the background. Get rid of the background. There it is. That's probably it. Let's see.
There it is.
Fake it.
One up.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, again. Again. Oh no!
What am I just seeing, bro? What am I just seeing? That's perfect. Look at the composure from him. He takes it out, stuffs it back in. Incredible.
That's the funniest I've ever seen, bro.
Come on.
Yeah. So the world champs lost to that.
He's like,
Yes.
look at the composure from Billy. Just takes it out and just stuffs it back in. Just reverse.
I just love how they're all just having a laugh. They're all just like messing around, and meanwhile, Vitality are on the ropes. Like,
They're
just
I know, you know they're
sweating.
stressed about this. Like, oh, come on, we have to reverse sweep now. 58 seconds left, down 4.
But
I can't say it at the top. But...
It's insane. I mean, so these results are outrageous. They're so insane to see. They did all qualify through lowers, by the way. So this time there was no team losing in lowers and failing to qualify. That was upper bracket that they all lost. But yeah, EU quals are pretty scary because you just got these teams who they do not care. They're just messing around, and they're all very good players, and they might just beat you because you're playing for your entire season on the line. I don't know. I've said it many times. We talked about it a lot. The qualifier format is a problem. It's not sustainable, and it should be changed next season.
KC losing to SAR in Game 5 again it's like this space station coming up against Gen G
It's
on
insane.
Gen 2 like K-Corp. I'm like, no!
They also
Please!
they conceded a 0-second goal in one of those games to lose one of the games, I believe. I think there was a 0-second goal as well.
cursed.
So and then there was a 0-second goal in Vitality. Didn't they lose to a 0-second goal in Game 5 to Wild? Or am I making that up? I think there was multiple
I think
0-second
it
goals. So it was absolute
Zero,
cinema. Like
maybe.
it was incredible. Like the content was amazing. And yeah, the teams obviously didn't play well enough to deserve to go through upper bracket on the day. Vitality, KC, and Gentlemates like they were not the better teams of the series. They deservedly lost. I feel like a lot of people's brains malfunction when we start talking about this discussion. They hear somebody say the qualifier format is bad, and they immediately think this is just this is just copium.
Oh,
But I
Johnny,
mean, it's not. Nobody's
stop
coping.
Stop coping.
No one is- no one is coping.
You just got to be
You
good
say-
enough to
you say
win.
nobody's coping, but you're the
No one
one
is coping, bro.
coping.
No one is coping.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
no one
You
is.
Casey
gotta
loses.
just win.
Not even KC are
You
coping.
never
Not even
brought this up
Vitality.
when-
Not even
You
Gentlemates.
never brought this up when Shopify lost. You never brought this up when Moist lost. But when KC
Yeah.
win, your favorite
Yeah.
French team, you start bringing it up.
EU.
That's
Sorry,
right, I
listen,
mean-
best EU team, your favorite, your French favorite. Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
That's right. I love France. Yeah. Obviously, they should just win, and the format's perfect. So
Format is
it's
perfect.
full
Commiserations to the people that, although the format is perfect, Belly Gull had to play KC in the final round, lost in
copy.
5.
Yeah.
Fast Forward will not be here for the final event. F Forward, Fast Forward will drive, one of my favorite teams to talk about. Top Cougs, that's disappointing. They got swept in their
they got beat by
qualification game
low
in a
block.
low block.
Yeah.
So the
Tough.
Cougs won't be there. Belly Gull, obviously, it's
Goats.
disappointing for Speed and Co. The Goats. Look, going to Game 5 of qual. Look, the format's fine, guys. The format is fine. We are
If
A-okay.
everybody has to dive into a pile of shit and sludge, then it's fair for everybody. Okay, quit complaining. You can't improve
But yeah,
anything. Okay, there's
for
no
the
way
people
to
who don't-
improve it because it's awesome.
It's definitely good content. See, for the people who don't understand sarcasm, I know there's a few out there. It is good content. Like the qualifier, there was amazing content. I loved every second of it. I mean, although popular opinion would tell you otherwise, I very much enjoyed watching the French team struggle. I really did. It was great content.
It
Oh,
does.
yeah.
It does make it
but-
very entertaining. I cannot argue that.
It's super entertaining.
When Casey's
but I
in
would
the lower
rather
bracket,
see that.
I will be there no matter what. That's for sure.
Yeah, same. And same with me. But I think it would be even better if it was a Swiss in the last day, and it was imagine KC are down 1-2 in Swiss. You're like you get the same thing. You get to watch 2 matches where they're on the ropes. It's even more
Ooh.
good content. That's what I want. Because then if you've lost twice, you still have a chance to get in. But it would be more consistent. We can all agree. Swiss is just more consistent at finding out who the top 16 teams are. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find out who the top 16 teams are.
No, we want content. And for content, it is, look, nothing gave me more joy than, the first couple of events,
Zero.
watching Dignitas lose to like a random team and having Jorby and Co on
Hey,
the
that random
comms, the
team was
Jorby and Turtle.
Turtles Cheeks, asshole.
Yeah, they did lose. Golden
Sorry,
Turtles cheeks.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
true.
team. It's the equivalent of like watching Barcelona play 300 school kids in a game. Like I'm watching, that's content. That's a YouTube video. It's getting clicks. That's what we're witnessing in these open quals. And every now and then the school kids win, and I'm tuning in when they do win. So it's great content. Doesn't get the best teams. No, should they be there in the first place? Probably not. But they are there, and I'll watch. But let's see what happens next season. Let's get it. Let's get a change. I've had enough of my fun. Let's change it up next season.
Let's change it. Let's get to Swiss on the last day, and that's it. That's literally all we need to do differently. That's it. We could talk more about like what formats we'd like to see next season on another day. There's too much to talk about right now, though.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a just a hunch. I feel like there's gonna be a long off season where we can think of a bunch of topics and
Yeah, we can cook up some.
maybe
Just a
a
hunch?
format episode or something like that.
Strong
Yeah,
hunch.
we'll bring in some experts and we'll cook up something spectacular for
Yeah.
you guys. But there's more news. Where are we going next, Rizzo? I've lost the.
Well, we're gonna get
order.
just to finish off on that. They can't make the major K-Corp. Obviously, this is the,
Oh, yeah.
Carmine
the
are out
outcome of the
major,
EU
out of major
quals.
contention, even with a weekend left, because they flopped so hard. They can't make the major.
Yeah, and the it had to go a very certain way, a very particular way. They needed one of the top teams to basically also lose in the quals, which was looking like a chance when there were a couple in the lower bracket. General Mates in particular was a team they was it General? Yeah, it was General Mates for this event. If General Mates didn't make the Swiss, then there could have been a chance for K-Corp. But was not to be, and they have not made the major, and now they are 27 points ahead of Oxygen. So it's game on. Basically, K Corp need to win or do very well in this last regional, last qualifier, and then hope that Oxygen don't basically win the major, win London to make Worlds. So still scary for K Corp.
Even if K Corp get out in like top 8, it's still kind of scary for them, because if Oxygen have like a decent run in the major, I think if they get maybe like top 4 like in the major, because there's so many. Well, Oxygen would have to match them at top 8 in the regional, but if they do better in the regional and then they also get a top 8 at the major, like they could surpass. Like it's not that crazy that KC ends up not being at Worlds, but it's all determined by KC actually performing in this regional. So I feel like all eyes are on KC this weekend. There's so much pressure on them. There's a bunch of pressure, but
also
they can't flop again.
If Oxygen outperform them this event and then do well at enough of the major to make Worlds, do KC even deserve to be at Worlds? I mean, they've gone top 8, not made the quals, and then
they literally don't. I don't think anyone is saying they deserve Worlds. If Oxygen do well enough to pass them in points, then they don't deserve Worlds. Like none of the people complaining about formats and saying that it needs fixed are saying that we should just auto give KC the spot because they're a big org. No, they.
I think we should. It's great having them there in advance. The blue wall is fantastic. We're going to sorely miss them.
Yeah, they are going to be sorely missed because they bring the atmosphere that the fans bring, and the energy is quite something to behold. But if they don't have enough points, they don't deserve it. So
I mean that's the main thing. But like winning 3 regionals. Like the first 3 regionals and then not making Worlds is the most ridiculous circumstance that could actually happen. Like that needs to be studied at some point.
It's also so some people are correctly saying, does 3 regionals mean nothing from this deserved perspective? Well, you do get rewarded for winning regionals, so you get points for winning regionals.
Does make it easier at the end of the season.
Yeah, those regionals were worth less than regionals now because they were further away. So some people don't like that. I know T-Bates is not a fan of that. Points at the end of the season are just higher. But what that does do is it allows late season pushes to happen. Otherwise, KC would, if both the splits were worth the same, KC would probably already be locked ahead. Like Oxygen would just have nothing to play for. I think it's better that they do have the chance, the moonshot of making it. Because, like you guys said, KC can still go out and defend that world spot by just winning the event this weekend or finishing ahead of Oxygen. And then they're in great shape. Oxygen would need to essentially make the grand final in London or win it. So KC are just got to make sure that they outperform Oxygen this weekend. That's their main job. Outperform Oxygen, main objective. Second objective would be, main objective, I guess, win. Second objective, outperform Oxygen if you don't win. But they're not this top 8 is not going to be easy. Like these guys are experiencing immense pressure. You can see during the series against Belagol, which they ended up winning. Vatira had a play in the last game, I think it was, or one of the last games, where he accidentally missed the ball in the back corner. It just went center to somebody on Belagol to score, and you can see Vatira he was rubbing his head and just shaking his head in person on the camera because he probably just can't believe what he's seeing. He just hit rank 1 in 2v2. He's never been better in his life, and he's like, why am I missing the ball? The pressure is crazy on these guys, and they've got to make top 8. Imagine they miss top 8 and they're watching Oxygen's quarterfinal.
I mean,
they're already 4 points ahead. Now they're just climbing.
They're just gonna be stressed out. Like if they get a top 8. And Oxygen also gets a top 8, they're going to be like, oh man, it's not, I don't want to say it's like a good chance Oxygen gets top 4 and surpasses them, but it's not like it's impossible. And it's not like it's even unlikely.
They're a contender.
Yeah, exactly. They're a contender. So it's it's very possible that they could surpass them and make Worlds. I didn't think the situation would be this bad for Karmine, but it's not looking amazing.
It's very bad if they somehow miss Swiss and Oxygen make it into quarters and go on a run, because I mean, Swiss all being on one day, you've got that has to be a good day for KC. If that's a bad day, we talk about how the format's punishing teams for having one bad day. Double elim qualifier day is a bad day, you're out. But if Swiss is a bad day, hey, you're right. You're right as well. You're not as punished, but at this point, they need that to be a good day. They cannot afford to miss top 8 this time. Otherwise, it might just be over. It might just be too much of a lead for Oxygen, who could be exciting final.
It's gonna be.
I was watching Garrett stream the other day, and he actually brought up a reason why he thought the format was bad. Well, I feel like there's many reasons, but
Just one?
No, this one specifically. Yeah, just one actually. He was talking about one specifically, and I wanted to bring this up because I'm curious about your guys' take on it. So last season, and it's the same as this season, the later splits you scored more points. Like if you got a win or whatever in the first split, you would get 20 points, and then in the next split it's 24 points. The next split is 28 or 32 or something like that. So you get rewarded for, you get rewarded more for performing later in the season, essentially. But what he was mentioning is that it makes no sense when there's only 2 splits to actually reward in the later season. And I actually kind of agree with that because the season started 5 months ago. Like it makes sense during a 9-month season
because it's so short.
Yeah, but when the season's only 5 months and you only have 2 splits and teams aren't like as encouraged to make like roster changes and all that stuff, it doesn't actually make as much sense to reward teams in the later half of the season.
Also, last season you had top 8 auto qual to the next event, so it made sense because it carried over from total season points, actually weighed a factor into that as well. But now season points are only seeding for the first part of the double elim for now. So there's no reason to give more points to people that randomly make it into the top 16 in the second split versus the first split. I just think you lose the consistency. You don't reward the teams that have been improving as the season goes on and they're still getting into the top 16 because of overall season points.
I don't know. I actually disagree. I can see it. They're all very fair statements from Garrett and yourselves, but I think it would actually, like Direct just said in chat right now, it would mean that a lot of teams have qualified way earlier to Worlds and stuff. Then you do start to get some weird scenarios arising. So you don't want teams to be clinched too early. Otherwise, they might just take a month off, or to take a whole week off. Because if a team's actually qualified, you're just in to Worlds and into Major 2, like super early in the season, then they might just be like, mail it in, and now whoever draws them gets lucky, I guess, because they're just not actually practicing.
That happens in other esports though, like league winner of MSI, like General Mates. Should they already be qualified for Worlds?
But that is a bad thing, right? Surely we can agree that's a bad thing if teams are if they're in way too early.
I like this storyline of having the first major winner, you're at Worlds. I understand for the fact that they could just I'm
Major 2.
Out,
I think Major 2 should make it. Major 1 though is scary to have just a winner of Major 1 go to Worlds, because then what if they're just we're just not gonna not gonna play super high pressure. They're just gonna be chilling. I don't know. I like when when it's more cutthroat a little bit in the main events, and it gives teams more of a chance to come back as well. Like this Oxygen situation is, I think, a good thing. Not to just have KC already qualified. I don't know. I think it's fine. And funnily enough, actually, we did this in RLCS season 1. In RLCS season 1, there were 2 splits, and the second split was worth more as well. Splits have always been worth more, actually.
Yeah.
I think people only end up not liking it when their team is the team who are not winning because of it. Like last season when V1 were losing.
I don't think Garrett said that. I don't think Garrett's
I don't think Garrett said that for that reason. But fans
I think he
do.
understands the situation.
No, for the record, I don't think Garrett said it for that reason. That wasn't who I meant. I meant fans don't like it when their team
that also makes sense, because I
it.
also would not want a team qualified after Regional 4. They just go and win, and then after 4 regionals, it's okay, well, you don't have to even show up for 5 and 6. That doesn't make any sense. So I have been swayed mainly by Direct with that.
Seeding's still a big thing as well, which is why you want to keep playing, not just.
But they could lock in one. They could just lock in.
I don't
first
think G2 cares about seeding. They're just going to beat any team they run into.
I think as well, if you win an event, you need to get more than just the standard one placement point upgrade. There needs to be more of a reward for actually winning a qualifier, winning a regional.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know why the point jumps are all the same. The point jumps this split and last split were so the same. I mean, it's good if you want to see tiebreakers, which I do, but it shouldn't be the same. Winning a quarterfinal should not be worth as many points as winning the grand final. Why is it 4 points for winning a quarterfinal and then 4 points for winning a semifinal and 4 points for winning the grand final?
It should be 5 for the final at least.
It should be 4, 5, 6. It should be incremental. That way you don't have as many tiebreaks are great for for us viewers. terrible for production teams, terrible for the actual, you
Yeah,
know,
the
for
fact that they
Blast
almost
running
had
it. They're like, oh
I
my
was,
days, we have
I
a
was
four-way
thinking
tie.
about that too. Yeah, exactly. Like if that four-way tie ended up happening, like because I was asking too, I was like, how does that work? Like, are they just making a
They were gonna
4-team
do it
bracket?
on Monday.
How is it seeded? Like
Yeah,
they're
they're
gonna
gonna
do it
do it.
Monday.
They're
They're
gonna
just
do
gonna
it on
make
Monday.
a new broadcast.
a little. So two of the teams, like Team A would play Team B, C would play D, and then the losers play each other for the last spot because 3 teams were
But
going
how
to
do they do the
qualify.
seeding? You said A and C play, and then B and
I
D.
think it was just going to be. I honestly, I don't know. If
Maybe
they
points.
had
Recent
it.
that
I-
event.
No points
Maybe.
is
Don't know.
tied. Fuck.
I don't know how they. I don't know how they figured it out. Maybe it
Recent
was gonna be
event into
season
total
points,
season. Yeah.
season
surely.
points or something for seeding. But for Sam, it was going to be even crazier. They could have had a 4-way like tie for one spot, so it would just be like a 4-team single limb bracket for the LAN, which would be amazing content.
That's actually
So,
a
hey,
good point.
if that's what they're doing, if they're trying to make tiebreakers happen, go for it. Make all of the matches worth 1 point. You
If
just
everybody-
have a bunch
Entertainment
of teams
again. The
tied.
entertainment value has been phenomenal.
If
for this
everybody
season.
is tied, you don't even need seeding, right? Everybody's even, so you just kind of randomize it.
Yeah, why don't we just like scrap the points and have every team in one giant tiebreaker at the end of the season? Like, 'cause, like,
Yes, one big single.
you know, more tiebreakers is good, right? At some point, we gotta like, you know, reward teams for winning the prestigious matches more than a quarterfinal. And actually,
I
it's
think,
one of the most insane jumps to me before we move on from points is that if you just simply make, I think it's the main event, you get 4 points. This split, you get 4 points if you make top 16.
Yeah.
The teams who missed out on qualifying by literally 1 round, so let's say Karmine Corp in the previous event to this one, they didn't qualify. You get 1 point. So there's that last round to qualify for the event is worth 3 points.
Yeah, that actually
And
does
then
not make
winning in
any
Swiss
sense.
is worth 1. Winning in Swiss, you get 1 point. If you win, like
Wait,
if you
that
go 1-3
makes
in
no
Swiss, 1 point.
sense.
If you go 2-3 in Swiss, you get another point. You get 1 more point. And then if you go like if you make top 8 is or you go 2-3 in Swiss, yeah, another point. And then make top 8 2 more. So it's like the jump for qualifying is bigger than the next 3 jumps for actually winning in the main event, which I don't get.
I think there are a
What
few
we doing?
teething issues with the format that we're
Well-
really ironing out this season. This is kind of like a let's see
It's
all
a
the
test
things that we
season.
can do wrong, and then well that's not good. We can work it. Look, let's hope that well the positive is, guys, there is a lot of time to work out the
There's a lot
point
of time.
system.
You can figure
There's
this out.
there's a lot of time to figure that out. You know, we have to sort that out until
Also,
8 months. So I think we're chilling.
yeah, got a lot of time to fix it. But GC says that I got as many points in Regional 4 as Casey did in Regional 5, and I was actually a round
did.
behind them. I didn't even make
Yep,
it to
you're
the...
two rounds behind them actually.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
In
I was,
fact,
I was
I think
2
the
rounds behind
teams
them, and
that
I got
you-
the same amount
the
of points.
team
How
you
does that
beat-
make sense?
The team that you
There's no
beat got
logic.
the same points as KC. Like being top 64 is 1 point, and then top 16
Really?
just suddenly 4 points.
So even
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
won the series, it's useless in terms of points. Obviously,
Yep.
we're not qualifying for the
And
major
prize money,
worlds
funnily
anyway,
enough.
but...
And prize
Top
money is the
32
same.
is 1 point, and then
Oh, it's
yeah,
the top
top
32 is
16.
1 point. My
Yeah.
bad. Okay.
that's crazy.
So it was
So,
okay.
yeah, so we got top
you were right,
32,
you
so
were
we
right.
got 1 point, and
Yep.
the top 24
So there's no
also gets 1
advantage for
point.
winning that top 32
Yeah,
game
the one-
to
the
go
1
into the
point.
24.
Yeah. So it's prize money stays the same from top 64 to 32, but you get a point.
Yeah,
an
that-
RLCS point.
That makes no sense at all. Like, actually, I
Oh no, wait, no.
cannot
The
find...
prize money
Like,
stays the same
sometimes
for-
when people argue format, they're like, but it's entertaining. And I'm like, okay, it's entertaining. Like, I can listen to that and be like, that's fair. You think it's entertaining. I'm not going to argue that. Like, that's one thing. But if you just look at the point system that does not stack or add up in a proper way, like, I cannot understand any argument for why somebody would actually think
Congratulations on your
that
1 point, though. That's
format is
huge
Yeah,
for the
1 point.
program.
Yeah, it got deleted, by the way.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
you
you
get-
can.
He
too many
disappeared.
mid-season
kicked.
changes.
Yeah, no, he had to make a
Wow.
roster switch. Well, I say we, but I was
We?
not a part of that. I was the one kicked, but I was the one kicked, by the way. So
Yeah, it's,
I mean, Turbo's Cheeks have just like they've been putting someone else in the chopping block every single event. They're just benching someone new.
brutal roster.
The
Yeah.
whole identity of the team is just gone
no,
at
I
this
mean
point.
they wanted worlds. I guess I didn't make the cut, so it's all good. I'll find a team next season. We'll see.
So wait, who was in the team for the last one? Is Kofir's, Alpha Kep, and Squishy, right? So
Yeah,
who's
that's the
next?
team. Who's next?
Yeah, who's next on the chopping block? You got benched,
Oh,
and then Turbo got benched.
I mean, hey, look. I mean, I love the guy, but Kep, I might take your spot back, buddy.
So they're gonna bench Kep, and then wait. I
And
mean, if
then-
you take a spot, my next sentence wasn't gonna work. I was saying if they bench Kep, you guys could just reform the original roster at that point. You're all
You know what's a good
kicked.
content idea? You should do tryouts. You should do tryouts for that spot, and then you all play with each other and see who
Do
does the
an
best.
open format tryout. Just have
Open
anybody
format
sign
tryout.
up.
That's content.
It's
I like
content
that.
actually. Oh my days.
Ugh.
You guys play and then see if anyone can do any better. Speaking of teams, going back to the point. Speaking of a region that didn't have any tiebreakers or any trouble with those, is Sub-Saharan Africa. Can we have a little bit of a glance over to SSA? Everyone, round of applause for Team Mobular.
Oh, you guys didn't clap. I was gonna clap once. But no, I didn't realize before the split that Spain was south of the Sahara Desert. But yeah, the Spanish team representing SSA at LAN. Really, really good job. Really good job that the format allowed that one. We were talking about, but this whole thing is starting to get to us roasting the
Yeah, it
format.
really is.
But yeah, what are we doing here? This is obviously not good for
Well, this isn't
the
even
region. It's not good for the
specifically-
event. It is a total waste of time. What are we doing?
I'll vouch for you, Johnny. This isn't specifically a format thing. This is specifically like a ruling, like that you're just allowed to.
Yeah, sorry,
Go
ruling
to another-
issue. That's what I meant. But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, a Spanish team qualified for the major spot for SSA. They basically yoinked the spot. I would say most people probably not a fan of it. I'm personally not a fan of it. And the thing is, at the beginning of the season, when they were like, anybody can sign up for anywhere, I was like, that's kind of weird. But whatever, sort of thing. But then once they actually took the spot from SSA and a bunch of teams started going to SSA to play, that was when it was like, okay, this is not making any sense, and this actually feels like wrong.
It also I guess the way they've kind of gone about it, like there's a whole thing of if you integrate yourself into the region, but it's certainly for what I've seen at least on Twitter and things, it's certainly been a bit of an us versus them. Like you see like the locals, like the SSA teams and the imports. It's definitely like an us versus them trying to take the spot, and it doesn't feel like anyone like of the SSA, the true SSA region is happy with this. There's not everyone's like, oh, this is great, we're finally going to get maybe a win. Like, can't wait to see how they go. Everyone's kind of like, you scumbags.
Yeah.
What was seen on Twitter is, their response.
Can I read out the tweets from Werty and Skill Seal,
Yup.
2 players from the SSA pros? Werty says, not gonna lie, this is there's a string of tweets here. I'll read them all back to back. Not gonna lie, RL Esports, I didn't play Rocket League for 7+ years and 200 ping for Europeans to steal a continent's opportunity. This is not hate, this is to be informative. I see the local kids' dream die when they lose to some guy who can't even point at SA or Reunion on a map. In every other esport, they let developing regions develop. Taking away an opportunity for the region to learn on an international stage really stunts growth. Scrim EU teams, they said. Half don't even scrim us. So what now? Back to 200 ping 2s. Okay. This isn't about me. I'm content with my career and I will push as hard as I can for a few years out of love for Rocket League. But I see kids in SA who don't even want to sign up for RLCS because he oversees players. It is so sad to see these kids lose hope. It just hurts. Also, if get good is your only response, we have only been included in 3 RLCS appearances, 21-22 wildcard, 22-23 wildcard, and 1 major. 3 chances is not enough, way less than even our APAC brothers. You want us to beat BDS, G2, and Falcons in 3 attempts? Be realistic. I want to see this region become competitive globally, be it in my time or the next gen, but taking its opportunities away when there's almost 0 to start with is not productive. I started Rocket League when there was $80 to play for, but I want the future kids to make waves globally. That was Warty_02 on Twitter. I think a lot of truth being spoken there. Guys, thoughts on Warty's tweets?
Yeah, it is weird. It's like everyone. I'm not going to do an analogy. There's a lot of analogies, kind of what it feels like, but it's just not. I don't think it's not a spot for them. Is the weird thing I feel, and I know that people say, it's similar with what happened with APAC. Even going back to the first Elevate iteration, Karmine Vert moving over with Realize. And maybe that was like the writing on the wall for that, because that felt different. We're like, well, realize it's still in APAC. It's an OCE team going to APAC. There's a lot of differences to this from an EU team going to SSA. Clearly, the weakest region, a whole EU team, but it's not their spot, and I don't know. I don't feel great about it, and I fully agree, especially knowing Snowy's skill steal and stuff as well. When I was playing, when they first got introduced and stuff, how passionate they are, how hard they had to work. They only just got a major spot, as well. Before that they're only competing at the world champ. So to only just get a major spot, to only be at 4 events, I guess so far, was it 4 or 3 international events?
3. That was their
3
third.
international
The major was their
events.
third.
And then potentially not having a local SSA team again, if this ruling doesn't change, kind of feels like they never got a fair crack. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I think, I mean, the tweet was spot on, but I just want to mention that I think last time this topic came up, somebody mentioned like, actually it's about Johnny Boy specifically, so I'm gonna bring it up. But he was like, Johnny never said anything about the EU players going to NA and like stuff like that, and people going to NA mainly. But the difference with that is like that's a little bit of a more even playing field. Like going from EU to NA, sure, EU might be better region, all that stuff.
It's
but
like a lateral move.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lateral move. But if you're going, I mean, realistically, like if APAC players went to SSA, I'd say fair game, honestly. But like, because they're both like underdeveloped regions, but. The problem is when you're going from a region that has had multiple opportunities and so many opportunities, and then you go to a region like SSA, it's as if you're like I don't want to baby them, but realistically, it's like you're punching down, because
it is punching down.
Yeah, because they haven't had the opportunities to actually develop as a region, and it's not like an easy circumstance to be able or to play from 200 ping with no LAN opportunities and to try to get practice versus these top teams when a team of full EU players can just queue up 2s and then get valid practice. Like they can get that practice because the players in those regions are better
for years.
For multiple years before SSA was even allowed in RLCS. They have all the opportunities to make it, and then once they were not able to make it in EU, they just go to I'm not going to quote unquote this, but literally an easier region, and then they just take the spot. So that is the main issue. With people saying that like. Johnny didn't say anything about NA going to
it's
EU
not
or
the
EU
same.
and NA.
I mean,
yeah.
It's obviously not the same, but I also do have a problem with like the NA EU moves as well. I think that there should be a 2/3 rule for that. I'm not saying it should just be SSA. Now I think when Gen G's team moved over, when Jack and Nolly moved over, everybody thought they were gonna like struggle to make top 8s. So that was a very different situation. When a EU team goes to SSA, everybody's like, well, I hope they don't win, because they're probably going to win, because they've got like every advantage in the world. So yeah, the fact that Gen G ended up just being the best team in the region, super unexpected, doesn't make it like okay that it's NA. It's not punching down. Can you punch down an NA Rocket League? I don't think so. I think NA and EU are kind of like they've had Rocket League the same length of time, but I think it's bad for NA to allow that to happen long term, because it could lose its identity as NA. If you just every season have multiple full teams coming over who aren't North American. It happened in League of Legends, and I lost interest. I used to watch League of Legends a lot.
No one watches the LCS anymore.
And yeah, when it just became like a bunch of Korean imports who don't speak English and full teams, there's a full Chinese team came over, and some of those players who way back in the day did make an effort to integrate and to learn English and be a part of the community. But I didn't care anymore. I was like, oh, like if it's not going to be the best players, I don't want to watch. Not the best NA players I don't want to watch. So then it's happened a bit in EU as well. But that would be bad. That would be bad for NA. But yeah, there's about SSA, and I think we need a 2/3 rule. That means that two-thirds of every team or the full team would need to be from the region in order to sign up. That's I think the dream scenario, because then if a player like VK Salen wants to take on this challenge, I heard that he's doing this challenge. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but somebody in my own chat the other day was telling me that what he's doing is he's trying to qualify to like majors or win regionals in different regions. I heard next he's going to OCE or something. Is that right? Is he actually going to OCE next?
Good luck.
Somebody please clarify. Yeah, I think he'd lose OCE for the record, but that's what I heard. Now, if he wanted to do that, you can still do that in a 2/3 rule world. You would just have to go there and actually team with South Africans, actually team with people from Reunion Island or Sub-Saharan Africa in general. Like that would be doable, but you just couldn't do it with another couple Spanish kids. You couldn't do it with a full team. And yeah, looking back at the Cami Vert situation, in hindsight, yeah, that doesn't fit the 2/3 rule either. But it was definitely closer because APAC to OCE is not as much of a punch down, or OCE to APAC is not as much of a punch down as EU to SSA. You're literally going from the strongest region to the newest region. When it's OCE to APAC, you're going from, at the time, the second weakest region to the weakest region. So it was like less of a punch down for Cami to do that. And they were doing a 1/3. They kept realized. So I was almost okay with that one. But even when that happened, I'm thinking, yeah, we kind of probably need a 2/3 rule because the writing's on the wall if this keeps happening, which now it is. You got Tho and Vart on the same team. Yeah, I don't like that. They could win, by the way. Tho and Vart might win APAC this next weekend, and then you got 2 Europeans from APAC as well. So EU5, EU6.
Yeah, look, it probably will improve SSA, right? To some degree. Obviously, like better teams isn't going to make a region worse. Obviously, you're going to lose having that homegrown talent competing, and honestly, it's kind of like having the World Cup of football and then not having the shit raid nation. You're just having like you know what I mean. You're getting this.
It wouldn't be the World Cup
teams
anymore. It would just be like some different type of cup. It would be
yeah.
the World Cup.
I want to see it. Like the whole reason why it's Rocket League's beautiful, truly, global esport. And if you want to market it as a global esport, this RLCS and whatnot, then let's see. Like, I want to see SSA. I don't want to see EU number 5. So I don't know. Look, we can harp on. I think everyone's on the same page with it.
So the bonus, obviously, with the current format of anyone can sign up from anywhere, is it's very easy to administrate. You don't need to get people to upload, their proof of where they're from or their identity or their residency. It's very simple, very hands off. So that's, I guess, the bonus. Is there any other reason why it could be considered good? I can't think of one. So if that's the only reason, if that's the only reason we're doing this, then that's just lazy in my opinion. Like, what are we doing? Like, we've got to take the effort to just get players to prove their residency and make a 2/3 rule a reality, because that would improve SSA. If the argument is that allowing EU teams to go over there will improve the region faster, I disagree. Well, maybe it will improve, but it won't be the fastest improvement. The fastest improvement would be 2/3 rule, because then there would actually be a reason for Sub-Saharan African kids to play and to grind and get good, put time into the game. If you're just going to allow teams from Europe to come over there, that removes the incentive to play, because you can't make a major. You're just going to lose. So it kills actually what's happening right now. Yeah, maybe like the teams who are still directly competing they're going to be giving it everything, and maybe they're getting better. But like, who's the guys who are next up are like, what's the point? Like where he tweeted, they've lost their motivation by this. So it's not improving the region if they've lost motivation, like they themselves are saying. So I don't buy it. I think 2/3 citizens. I think citizenship of like a country. But yeah, residency is an interesting one. How long do you have to be a resident before you become viable? Maybe it's like 2 years resident / citizen, something like that. We can figure it out. I'm sure there's a solution there. Before we move on from this, I wanted to read Skillsteal's tweet as well. So he retweeted the announcement that Mobula have qualified to London. This is another SSA pro. He tweets, "You can rock all the green and gold and South African flags you want. You are not representing SSA at the major. EU is taking 5 teams to London." So a little bit more of a aggressive tweet from Skillsteal, which I respect. I think he's on the money with that as well. They're not representing SSA. They're just representing nothing. They're representing a bad rule set is what they represent. So
yeah, it's pretty clear.
Changed so that SSA can have a fair shot and we can have a better situation. Not just SSA, but all regions.
I'm gonna do another brilliant segue here. Well, speaking of teetering on the edge of the rules, there's a team from the South American region that also have been teetering on the edge of the rules, allegedly.
And that
is Team Furia. Now, this
This
came
is
to
ridiculous.
everyone's attention through a Reddit post who has hyper-analyzed their gameplay, Rizzo, and thought,
No, it was a tweet. It was Karka
oh,
tweeted.
sorry, that's what. They
Yeah,
said,
Karka
hang on a
tweeted.
minute. Are these guys throwing Rizzo, perchance?
We can take a second and actually look at it. I just have to pull it up again because for some reason
All
I
right, so
closed
we
it.
While Rizzo pulls it up, let me give some context. So Complexity obviously have CRR on the roster. That's a Spanish player, CRR. He's playing with Diaz from Brazil and Reyes Bull from Chile this split. And I'm guessing that CRR and Karka, being Spaniards, fellow Spaniards, are still friends. Maybe CRR has nothing I don't think CRR has anything to do with this, but I think Karka's probably looking out for his fellow Spaniard here and saying, hey, the Brazilian teams are they're allying against us. They're trying to make sure that Complexity don't go to Worlds by allowing other Brazilian teams to beat them. And in particular, he didn't like Furia's performance against NIP because Furia lost for the first time in the entire season to NIP. And he's clipped together a bunch of moments to show that they've thrown this series. So let's take a look at them.
Yep. Have this one ready. Not gonna share screens on Discord, so no lag here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm watching it myself.
I also do
Alright.
want to say I muted because there's some goofy ad music and it'll probably get
yes.
claimed on YouTube.
It's just sound yes. It's
So
sound effects.
it is goofy ass sound effects and goofy ad music, but this is a lot of clips
Rizzo, do you want to maybe talk through the clips for the audio listeners as you watch?
for the audio listeners. Yeah, there's
Just a little summary of a few of the clips.
there's a bunch of I think a lot of the main ones are a lot of missed backboard reads. There's a lot of aggressive bumps as well.
Very aggressive positioning.
Very aggressive positioning. Yeah.
Yep.
Just
very
bombing
aggressive.
it downfield.
And
Very
as
fluffy.
Riho wisely said one day, bad rotation there. So another bad rotation. More
Yeah,
bad rotation.
Just a bad rotation. Just a bad miss off the backboard.
If I could describe what I'm watching, it just looks like careless. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like they're not, all right, I need to read this like my life depends on it. They're kind of like,
Yeah.
wee, like that kind of,
There was
like they're not.
the only sus play for me, just spoiler, I don't think they threw. But the only sus play for me was that goal on DFH where both the other opponents were at the game and the player at the near post didn't flip in the way of the ball. That was the only sus one because it doesn't fit the Sam kind of play style where they go for everything, really aggressive, taking every risk. There was one play where they just conceded while watching. That was the only sus one. Everything
You
else
said
to
that was
me,
on DFH.
yeah. I'll wait. I can go find it. Wait, actually, yeah. I just
Oh, this
realized
one.
you reached the end of it.
it's
It
the
was further on in
20.
the video.
Oh, it's 40 seconds in. 42.
Oh, this one. I see. Yeah, he didn't flip it that
Rafinha
one.
kind of leave.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one not flipping. That is the only one that is sus to me. Because one player's flown out of position, missed the ball. The other player's also not recovered yet, gets demoed, and then this player doesn't flip with the ball. This is the only one that I think is at all suspicious. The other ones I think fall into the category of just misplays. Like there was a ceiling reset miss. There was another whiff on the ball where they're going fast. Aggressive positioning. I'm not surprised. It's South America. They do this all the time. So everything else just looked like regular Sam gameplay and some bad gameplay.
Yeah,
I don't think they threw.
I'll be honest. I don't watch Sam. I only watch them at majors and I only watch them at Worlds. The clips do look pretty bad, but I don't think it's to the extent of the YMC situation.
Oh, not even close. Yeah, that was like
because-
uncut gameplay for minutes at a time where they're
Yeah,
throwing.
YMC's was so incredibly obvious that it was just definitive. Whereas if they were throwing, if Furia were throwing in this situation, it's very hard to prove or to just be definitive about it. A lot of them were missed backboard reads. Probably half the clips were missed backboard reads. And
There was a miss backboard read, miss ceiling reset. There was one where somebody made an aggressive boost steal at a bad
but
time.
one of the clips
all
also is
mistakes.
Yan wasn't air rolling. It's okay,
Oh,
but
the air rolling,
what is
come on.
that? You can't just
What if he's just in real life at that point? I don't know, Maybe his like thumb slipped off the controller or something, or he had to really
I
badly.
I think to sum it up, I think that they, there's a difference between like actively trying to lose and what I kind of said. It just looked like they were pretty careless, like
Yeah, like-
carefree, loose, like,
Yeah.
oh well, if I hit it, I hit it.
To be
If I don't, I
fair,
don't, sort of thing,
that
because
is
there's not
one of
much
the
on the
rules
line.
as well to like play the.
I know,
one
they
of the
have
rules
to play
is
it
to play to the
100%.
best of your
You do.
ability, sort of thing. I think that's how it's written, something like that.
Yeah, you do.
But it's not.
I don't think it's conclusive, but
It's
I don't
not
think they
obvious.
were trying 100%. But
Well,
it's like, how do you
also
prove
you
it?
gotta remember this is cut together by somebody accusing them. They've edited it,
With-
and some of them were literally just mistakes. They were definitely not throwing. So like that's got to
Yeah.
be like badly
Let's not
edited to make
forget
it look bad.
the edit to make it look bad. Plus, if you add goofy music with fart noises,
Goofy
it's gonna
music
look
helps.
even worse.
Yeah, it's
You
intentional.
can make a montage of anybody with goofy noises and goofy fart noises. And it's probably gonna look
Yeah.
bad. I think you could do that with just about anybody. I'm sure Beast Mode pre-jumped a couple times throughout the regional and didn't connect, and it looks
Oh, no,
pretty
you could
bad.
you could do this with any series. Like we did do this with like NA. We made a fail montage for NA one event. I forget what event it was because there was like a really really floppy day where there were like so many complete whiffs that looked insanely bad. But obviously, when you take away all the context, it's gonna look funny. It's gonna look bad. And that was for comedic effect. We didn't accuse them of throwing. We were just like, hey, that's really funny. Professional Rocket League players missed the ball a bunch of times. To say that they're throwing because they misplayed a bit is nah, it's ridiculous. Also, the difference with the YMC thing is YMC players just forgot how to play Rocket League. They were just like flipping badly, like landing badly, like using all of their boost and steering and wasting all their boosts for no reason. It was absolutely like purposely throwing. Whereas Furia just looked like they made some mistakes and it's been edited together and that's it.
My only point to this whole situation is that like it's not definitive. I feel like it's not definitive. Some people might feel like it is.
Remotely definitive.
Yeah. So it's not like an easy ban. It's not like, oh, they're throwing. I don't want to throw that out there. I don't want to say that because it's not easy to tell. Like it's not.
If
not
that's
there.
bannable, then a bunch of teams this season are gonna get banned. If you
Ban
get
my
banned for
career,
this,
baby.
we're gonna need to ban a lot. There's gonna
Get
be
me
barely any
out.
teams left. Like, let me cook up some more fail montages. We're gonna get every team banned. Like, honestly, you could get any team banned if you ban Furia for that video. But they're not gonna get banned. I mean, it's a joke. That's gained any traction from anyone. But yeah, now the situation is very much bad for Complexity because Team Secret won the event, so Complexity are gonna lose world spot.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I was gonna say, what is the reason? Why would Furia throw in the first place?
So yeah, that's the other crazy thing. Like they had nothing to gain. Furia had 0 to gain by throwing. The accusations are all to say that Furia want Complexity to lose so badly that they're throwing to help other Brazilian teams like Secret.
So they don't
and
like
NIP.
Complexity is the reason that they would throw.
Yeah, and I mean they probably don't like Complexity based on like some tweets I've seen. I think they're rivals. Like Razebull, when Complexity won the first event over them, tweeted pretty much after winning, he tweeted like, "This is my house" or something. Some like very like direct at Furia. You guys definitely took the L there. It wasn't like a classic GG's at Furia, well played or anything like that. I don't think they like each other. But does that mean Furia is throwing? No. I think Team Secret and NIP just beat them. Oh no, actually it was Erased beat them. This is the deepest conspiracy. You guys want to know the deepest conspiracy is? So some people are now saying that Furia have thrown in the semi because they thought nobody would be watching. They didn't want to throw in the final because everybody would be watching. They threw in the semi instead when everybody was watching NA.
Smart.
Nobody would know.
That's genius.
People think too deep into it, I think.
Yeah, nobody would
they
look at
lost
those
to
replays,
Erased.
so that's good.
But the truth is they probably just already locked in Worlds, locked in first seed. It's kind of like that problem we were talking about earlier. They're already first seed, they're already major, they're already everything, and they're like, well, whatever. We don't care anymore. They're just chilling. There's some teams that will do that. They'll just they'll already be qualified and they genuinely will not play as hard. they might just not be playing as hard anymore because they already locked Worlds and major. Yeah,
Did you guys?
Complexity are in trouble though. Complexity are in trouble. If Team Secret win one series, is it one series at LAN? I think Complexity are out or something like that. Is it 2 series?
I
think
mean,
they have to win.
surely
Okay,
that's in the bag, right? Surely
2 series and they're out. One
Team
series
Secret
is a
doesn't go 3.
tiebreaker for Worlds. If Team Secret go 1 and 3 in Swiss, it's a tiebreaker for Worlds between Complexity and Team Secret.
Ooh.
God, these
So if they go
tiebreakers
2,
are
3
the
or better.
worst for admins. I swear. It's like, what day do we have to show up to do this? While a team is at the major, it's like, okay, we have to coordinate now.
Nah, they'll do it like after. It would be
Yeah.
since it's for Worlds, they'd have a couple months there to plan that. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to find some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
they
guys
go
see
2-3
this
Swiss
is,
they qualify.
This is off topic. This might be. I don't know how much you want to get into this, but did you guys see the what's going on in Fortnite right now
No.
with the
What's
cars?
going on?
Because this kind of
No,
relates.
what's
I
this?
saw someone put it in the comments earlier. They've got like modded cars right now in Fortnite, and basically, if you want to win, you actually have to be driving a Dominus. It's the funny.
What?
Yeah, I have to show this clip, Rizzo. This is. Have you
I
seen
I
it?
think I know which clip you're talking
The
about.
car that chases him into the sky and just lands on him.
Yes, the hot dog. Or I don't know if it's hot dog
Wait,
skin.
what is this?
I got
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah,
hot dog
no,
skin
I'm
guy.
so glad you brought this up. I saw it this morning. I was fucking dying laughing.
What is the
so fun.
state of this game?
This makes-
Ninja,
okay,
Ninja
let
came
me
out and
just
So
say-
is
just
this
yeah, let me
this
just
is
say-
straight up Fortnite and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
somebody
Yeah,
just
this is
driving
Fortnite.
at him in a car?
What's the whole-
Everybody's all the pros, all the good players in Fortnite are complaining about it. They say this sucks. This is the worst. To be fair, they say this is the worst season ever. They always say this is the worst season ever, but this one is the worst by far, definitively. And I think this is probably the main reason why, because this is the
Show the clip,
funniest
show the
fucking
clip.
thing. Here we go.
You have to show that
Jesus.
clip,
Yeah,
man.
let's go.
I'm just seeing it for the first time.
Oh,
He gets hit by
for
the
the-
car.
This guy chased, bro. Wait, this thing can fly? Are you joking?
it just
But
lands
the
on
car
his
also
head.
takes the portal.
Yeah, basically flying cars that just squash you and land on you is
What an esport, bro. What an esport.
I think that's calm playing Fortnite. But that's the current state of Fortnite. It's, honestly, I watched that yesterday and I'm pissing myself laughing. And then I saw Ninja complaining, like, I need to have some modded car. Like, am I playing Fortnite anymore? Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, no, this is
That's
hilarious.
so funny.
I heard the other day that like pros were complaining about it. I'm like, bro, they complain all the time. But then I see this clip the next day, and I was losing it. It's so funny. Dude just gets
I don't
knocked
believe
out of
what
the
I've
sky.
seen. I don't believe what I've seen. That is crazy.
Oh my god.
Doesn't matter how good you are. Yeah, also apparently like even if people are building, you can just like run through the walls and break them. Like you just like Hulk smashing. I don't know what it is, but you just like keep running and just like boom, 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 boom. You just break them. So it's like why are you even playing build if you can just somebody can just get an item that just breaks everything instantly?
That is so funny. Man, well, Rocket League's back on the menu, I guess. Like we're on the way up. All the Fortnite players are gonna be like, yeah, this is sick. Let's go play this game. Under the epic banner. How's Rocket Racing doing? Just quietly. I feel like we haven't talked
I
about
hopped
Rocket
on
Racing.
Fortnite
Oh,
the
let's
other
look at the
day.
viewer count.
I hopped on
How's Rocket
Fortnite the
Racing
other.
doing?
Wait, it's a Twitch category? I actually didn't even know that.
Oh, there is. A
No,
Twitch
I
chat.
mean, like, can't you look up the current player
yeah,
base
yeah,
of
yeah. I
Rocket
hopped on
Racing?
Fortnite the other day and it was at about 8k people.
Oh no.
So
Rocket
just
Racing's
about
dying.
about the Rocket League player base. So it's okay. It's doing pretty good. It's doubling the Rocket League player base.
Just about the Rocket League player base. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Not
Yeah,
too bad at all.
It's flying.
Don't see a Rocket Racing section. I feel like they're all in Rocket League. They're probably just streaming in the Rocket League section.
All right, let's.
I like how you said that so confidently, as if somebody's streaming it. But good
Yeah,
one,
they're
No
in
one
there
is
somewhere. Keep
streaming
scrolling.
it.
buddy. Sure,
keep scrolling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep
No,
scrolling.
you'd be
Somebody's gotta be
scrolling
streaming this.
forever.
I'm gonna keep scrolling.
You'd stream the Rocket League
Actually, I'm
category
just
to
gonna
get some
start
viewers.
low to high. I'll find it this way. A lot of people stream Rocket League actually. Look at this.
Is anyone still playing the Lego Fortnite
I heard that was good.
Minecraft?
I heard that was good, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if people are still playing it.
I have absolutely no idea. I
Okay.
have no clue.
I think this is a good time to go to Patreon questions.
Patreon.
I actually pre-fired this and I sent this at the beginning of the show, so we didn't have to wait
Good.
for questions. How genius is that? This
Insane.
one comes from Nader Noah. He says, "What happens?" Sorry, it was weird English. What happens if there are little to no tourneys this off season? Will pro players die out? Is there anything planned?
It's IO.
He said-
Whoa.
wait, hold on, he also says, is there
Hold on.
anything planned that can be leaked / teased? Okay, buddy. No, we're not
All
gonna
right,
leak
yeah,
anything.
let's just leak
first and
everything.
foremost. But I mean, from what I know, there's EWC, Esports World Cup. That's a big thing.
They've announced the
I mean,
Rocket
there's
League's
still
in
the
that.
major EWC, and then there's Worlds.
That's what. So yeah, EWC, the actual Esports World Cup dates. They've not said when Rocket League is, but the Esports World Cup is between June and August, I believe. So it has to be in that window, right? Between Major and
A nice
Worlds.
2-month
That
window.
the chasm in between Major and Worlds. You'd
Yeah.
hope so.
It's less of a chasm now. We got a little bit of EWC in there, but yeah.
be
After
fair,
that, I've not heard anything announced.
I will say, at
after
least the
that.
final 3 events are LAN events. That's pretty good. Like none of those are online. Everybody loves LAN events. Those are
Yep.
some solid ones. So
They are spread out by. I guess not too bad. It's like 1 a month.
I mean, I'm hoping. Hopefully, I want to run
month.
another event in the off season, so I'm gonna try and cook something up. But I can't
Leaked.
announce anything yet.
leaked.
So
There's a tease.
Leaked.
I know James
Leaked.
and I are also looking to run stuff, but there's obviously nothing definitive.
yeah, we don't have anything. Like, don't worry. We want to let you guys know as soon as there's something to tell, but there's nothing to tell yet. So we're working on it. Working on stuff. We'll see. But yeah,
What else we
hopefully,
got here?
hopefully there's something. I hope some TOs run LANs. That's like what we want to see. International LANs. We want to see like LANs with international comp. That would be cool. If some TOs came in, there's definitely a gap there. Gap that's fillable with a LANs.
Head change. Will the 4th co-host Rise ever come back from his hiatus? Now, it's a great question. The way that they are trending at the moment could be a permanent addition to the roster. He might have a lot more
Whoa.
free time on his hands. We'll see what happens
Yeah,
after
we,
London.
You might be doing some watch parties for the major.
WPs.
We can recruit him for that. Actually, Rise loved having Appjack on the watch party for them, or for Gen G's scenario. We need to get Rise in a watch party, or he just needs to watch party himself, watching Oxygen lose, hoping that Oxygen lose, I should say, because they might just win. Because yeah, that's what Rise is really going to want to see. He's going to want to see his countrymen lose so he can go to Worlds. You should be streaming that. Good content.
100%. What else we got here?
This one's from Brad Pitt's dad.
Oh,
If you guys could change, I know this one. This one should be obvious. But if you guys could change the winner of any series, what would it be? Any previous RLCS series? Now, I would choose Season 7 World
previous-
Championship. That one's a pretty easy one. I would give G2 the win over Vitality.
Any
I
previous,
think it
you
was
say?
pretty.
I feel like
pretty
my
good.
legacy would be sealed. I would be the greatest player of all time.
I wouldn't mind
Mm.
if that one actually, because then if you guys won it, Scrub would never have won. Fairy Peak would never have won. Now I would. I was gonna say, people always ask me who's the best player to never win Worlds. I say JNaps. So
Right, Rizzo was
JNaps
your
winning something.
Rizzo was your
Yeah.
second option though.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. One of the options.
Up there.
Uh,
Okay, not sure what that means, but
Definitely one of the options. But yeah, actually, it's more insane than that. I know I'm not answering the question by saying this, but I looked up esports earnings for Rocket League the other day because somebody was asking me about it. And JNaps is now second, actually. In fact, he must have been second for a while.
for Rocket League?
In the total
DNA
earnings, he's
goat.
second in prize money.
God, he's so
It's
handsome.
Monkey Moon, then JNaps, and then Alpha, Seiko, then Chicago. So top 5 has 2 players who didn't win Worlds. So yeah, those guys winning Worlds in Season 7 would give 2 of the best players to never win Worlds a win in Worlds. So that would be definitely a changeable one. I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind it.
Now, honestly, though, for me, selfishly, just Season 1, because I was really good friends with the guys who were in the final and lost. So that would have been fun to win.
CJ,
They won the
I'm
next
sure
one,
you
though,
could
so.
list 100 series here. Which one are you
I
thinking?
would.
What's your top 10?
I. Wait, do I have to? Does it be a series that I played in, or
No,
does
you
it?
can just pick any series.
Oh well, I'd probably pick. I'd say just for the pure spectacle, I'd say G2 beating BDS Worlds Finals, Dickies Arena, because it was terrible. The fact that BDS won and everyone went home. I think it would have been. Imagine that was our biggest crowd ever. Having an NA win there would have been a lot. But it was kind of like season 6, Johnny. You know, we were kind of going for Cloud9 because it was
Yeah,
in
we
it.
wanted to.
The
yeah,
crowd wanted Cloud9 to win. It made
Also, we
sense.
really
Lower
didn't
bracket
want to
run.
see. We didn't want to see Dig win again. We were like, not 3, bro, not a third time. So we were like, definitely really cool to see the
Now-
NA crowd have a team win.
Look at Dury's message in chat. Imagine, CJ, you beat NRG.
That was discussed. It was discussed.
And
My
then
retirement.
you retired after you beat them.
Yeah,
Instead of them
That'd be
retiring
sick.
you,
Ian came
you
up to me and
would've
he's like-
retired yourself.
Ian's like, we're doing this regardless, aren't we? Like, you win or lose. I was like, yeah, we're doing this regardless. He's like, so if you beat NRG, you got to still like. He's like, you realize how BM that is, and I was like, that's hilarious. I'm gonna
it's
still retire
pretty funny.
after
That is
winning. That's my
pretty
last.
funny.
Look, guys, I don't have it anymore after beating NRG. I just don't have it. I'm retiring. That's it. So yeah, I'd flip that. That'd be funny seeing an alternate timeline of us winning, because then we would have beat Semper with, we were 3v1 against Casio on stage. So that was an easy win. And then suddenly I'm in the top 8, top 4, top 8, top 8. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have made
top
top
12.
8. Wait, for
If I
beating
beat
NRG?
You would have still had to beat COVID, or you beat COVID.
Yeah, I
Semper
beat
top
COVID
8.
Semper. That's it. Geez, they're
Yeah,
the
that's
free
the one
bracket.
thing.
isn't it?
Missouri, yeah.
It
3v1
was a
on
bit of a Mickey
stage.
bracket. I mean, I felt like such a hater. I remember I was in the pre-show on the championship Sunday for World Championship, the 2021 too in Dallas, and they had a segment in the pre-show, like they wanted to talk about all the teams and the general consensus, because Daz rolled his T-baits. I can't remember who else was on the pre-show as well. But they all agreed that anyone could win on the day. They were like, it really feels like anyone could win. I felt really bad saying it, but I was like, I'm not just gonna sit here and pretend like I think NRG could win this thing. I was like, I mean, I don't think NRG could win this. Like, I'm not trying to turn this into NRG hate, but I'm gonna say it. I don't think they could win this. I think that any other team but NRG could win. And that was the truth. I didn't feel like they could win because they were the worst team in the top 8, and they didn't win. But hey, if they did win, I feel like saying that they can win and then watching them win, it would have been like almost worse. You gotta admit, like, nah, they're the most ridiculous underdogs. If they win this, it's stupidly, outrageously unpredictable. And
100%.
saying that they
Wait.
could have won that is just not nah.
Question.
Nobody thought they could.
I brought this up the other day on stream. Would you rather a league have like 16 teams that are or wait, hold on, I put this example. Would you rather have like a team that's like the Goliath that wins like 5 or 6 of the regionals, or would you rather have 6 different regional winners with 12 different grand finalists?
Goliath.
I think like okay, it depends. Or if there's never any consistency, then I want some consistency. Like and then if there's never any other different winners, okay, it's about time we see a different winner now. Like you just
Why-
get bored of watching them win.
Why would you want consistency though?
Because if nobody is ever consistent, it takes away from if it's just winnable for anyone and anyone can win, no big deal. Then you never get those moments like IBP beating Flipside in season 1 where they were huge underdogs. Nobody sees it coming. Nobody was saying like going into that event anyone could win. It was like, okay, there's 3 very good EU teams. They look like the strongest teams. The fact that they lose makes it even more crazy. Cloud9 Dignitas. Part of what made it so special is how unfathomable it was that Dignitas could lose 2 series in a row.
Not
Like, nobody
just
thought it was
them
possible.
getting beaten though. Like, look at history in any sport, Rizzo. No one talks about the season where anyone could win it. Everyone talks about I guess you go anywhere like the Bulls,
yeah.
Barca, Real Madrid. Like, no
Who
one talks
finally
about
beat the team.
Whoa, it's a 16-team comp with everyone so even. Like, no one remembers that in history. Everyone talks about the most dominant teams because that's
Yeah,
like
nobody
a legacy.
talks about.
And that gets eyeballs. Everyone wants to watch the best team, but if there's 16 teams that are all at the same level, you get less viewers, and you get less. No one really watch you. But if you're tuning into a random esport like Dota or something, and Johnny goes, or say it's StarCraft, and Johnny goes, this guy has won 16 times. You're like, holy shit, this is sick. I'm tuning in. This guy's a freak. Let's watch it. But if you're like, there hasn't been a single winner that has won again, you're like, okay, like that's a bit
It's
weird.
true.
Like, is
If
there a
you
kind of
should
shit?
convince-
If I,
You know
yeah,
what
if
I
I
mean?
tune
Convince
into a
somebody
grand
why to
finals,
watch.
if it's just the grand finals and I'm like, okay, anybody could win, it's kind of
Yeah,
odd.
but if you're
well,
like,
if
this
I-
guy
if
is
I
not
know
lost.
somebody's
Yeah.
gonna win, it's like, well, wait, hold on, it's getting close.
Well, if you're trying to get someone into like everybody who's new to esport or a sport wants to be like a glory hunter. Usually, most people, they want to, be a fan of a team who have a shot at winning because they want to see somebody win in this thing that they've just picked up on. And if imagine you're introducing somebody to Rocket League and they ask, okay, so who are the good teams? Who's like, who should I follow? Because I want to follow like the story of one of the teams who are likely to do well. And you're just like, honestly, I don't know. It could be any of these 20 teams because they're all kind of the same. And we haven't had the same team win twice in a row or even make the final twice in a row for 4 years. They'd be like, oh, so what matches am I supposed to watch again? Like, which are the important ones? Which
All
is the
of them.
storyline? All of man, this is tough. Like, it's actually kind of good if you say, okay, these are the two teams. To a new viewer, you tell them, this is the big team from EU, this is the big team from NA. They're on a collision course.
Yeah.
That's easier to like.
Here's the idea.
grasp.
Everybody wants to take down the French.
Yeah. Or if you just say that, okay, so the French teams are unbeatable. Nobody can beat the French teams, and then suddenly somebody beats the French teams. People are like, whoa, this. I heard that nobody could beat these teams. So the fact that this G2 team who just knocked out BDS, that's pretty big, right? To a casual fan who doesn't really know a lot. Yeah, that's huge. They get told by all their mates who are watching. That's super insane. Nobody beat the French last year. Now they're maybe losing. Maybe G2 can go on a run. I think that's more likely to get people interested. So you need a little bit of both. If literally the same team, if Dignitas were still winning to this day and they'd won everything since season 4, we'd be like, all right, can somebody please beat these guys?
Somebody wrap
it's
it
a
up.
bit
This
too
is
much.
getting a little ridiculous.
Can somebody please win?
Guys, where is it? I feel like it's the same as saying like there's a tournament where 16 teams all win $100,000 or one team wins $1.6 million. You know what I mean? It's like I think you want that.
Yeah. Well,
The
did
big
you guys want
Goliath.
Vitality to win when Vitality were on this streak? Did you guys want the streak? I wanted the streak. I'll be honest. I was like, that's really cool. If they pull that off, that's history. That's history. We've witnessed it live.
Pretty cool.
But then if they just kept on winning and the streak was still going, I'd be like, honestly, I wouldn't mind another team winning and stepping up and beating this guy's head who can't keep winning everything. Like, I wanted the streak, but then when the streak happened, I was like, all right, I'm loving the parity because now Vitality aren't the team anymore. There's loads of teams. But if it stays like this, loads and loads of teams, and nobody establishes themselves as consistent, that'll get annoying. Be like, come on, can somebody please win 2 events, or win twice internationally again? Right now, I'm liking it though. We've we're
in a nice little spot. Except K-Corp.
We're to the question mark era.
Question
where nobody
mark.
knows what's going on. Genji
You got another one, Rizzo?
Lost.
Yeah.
This one. Oh, you going?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Okay.
I think I had one more, but I'm trying to find it.
This one comes from Caleb though.
Oh.
Big Caleb. He said, "At what?"
Why do you say though? Like that? Like there's something wrong with this.
I don't know. I don't know why I said that. This one comes from the big Caleb,
it is
my
Caleb.
special Pookie Bear. He says, "At what point do pros/bubble players/high-ranked players need to make a stand with Epic/Psyonix to either address or at least make a comment on all the DDoS instances happening worldwide?" So for anybody who doesn't know, there are a lot of people, a lot of players DDoSing Rocket League servers, usually at the highest level because they end up DDoSing and then climbing, and then they end up stream sniping players or pros or anything in between and just getting into their lobbies and then DDoSing those as well. And DDoSing is basically just like taking the server down, so they're not able to play. They just essentially log in, they get in, they AFK for a bit, then they DDoS
They give you
them.
false hope.
They give you false hope. They DDoS the server. You disconnect, and they get the win. So then they're able to climb. Essentially the gist of it. And there have been actually a lot of people and pros making tweets about this specifically. So making a stand against it. But I think what he specifically means is like something in the sense of a protest. What my thought about it is that what I would assume is that they've taken a big break on their UE5 development. And what they're doing is they're taking a lot of work, or they're making a lot of work, and they're putting a lot of effort into fixing the DDoS situation, because I don't think that is something that just can be fixed by banning them. Because if you ban the person, then they're just going to do it again on a fresh account.
Free to play, baby.
You need a full locked-in moderation team to just like automatically ban them every time they get past plat, and that I just don't think that's possible.
Arsenal just tweeted as well saying he's taking a break from Rocket League. Game's not fun, and DDoS is every game. Look, this might be another topic for next week's show. This could be a big one. It is bad. Yeah,
Is it time to bring back
happening a lot.
6-mans, 2-mans, no
That's
DDoS
true.
pro play?
6-mans.
You know what we need? This is again massive the little tangent here. We need to just make a Chalkcast team mode like server where people can sign up as a team, play team mode. Because Rocket League needs team mode. That would fix everything. You just have team mode. And imagine we could make a website with a team mode leaderboard. I feel like everybody would want to play. They'd all want to hop in the Chalkcast team mode. What do you guys think? Can we get some ones in chat for team mode?
Yeah, if team mode does exist, even a team mode for 2s, then they would still DDoS the server and ruin your fun. Then you wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah, true. There would just be a team of DDoSers. But no, surely it's easier to ban a team. It's not just randoms.
They just keep popping back up, different accounts, Signet accounts. Remember the Signet, the console Signet logos?
Classic.
Look, I think we'll see how that. Look, I think that could be topic for next week, though. It seems like it's ravaging through the community. I do want to say quickly, talking about Chalkcast, talking about the Discord. Has everyone watched our travel vlog? Chalkcast Takes Over Korea is live on Rizzo's YouTube channel. Our first vlog, our first video uploaded. Hopefully you guys did. You have enjoyed it. If you did watch, if you haven't, check it out, please. That's the first one. We have the Korean food tier list is the next video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's the next video going on my channel, but that one will also be coming out.
That'll be coming out. So sub over to Rizzo. You know, you're already subbed to Rizzo's YouTube, but they're coming out over on the main channel.
We've learned a lot from that video because we learned how some of the footage just wasn't usable. So next time if we ever do that again, we're going to do a better job, an even better job.
Yeah.
Maybe we need actual mics next time or something.
Yeah, I think we might need actual mics next time. It's something we're going to definitely invest in.
But yeah, we saw.
It was actually pretty good. Overall, it was less cringe than I thought it was going to be. So good job, guys, on not being cringe.
Yeah, I think we did a great job. We were going to make the Korean baseball vlog, and I ended up saying this in the Chalk Discord, but as the Korean baseball vlog was finished, it just wasn't like a finished product, so we decided to just combine everything and just do one big vlog instead of.
But we never hit the goal. Actually, we were just a couple off the goal.
We can still hit it. Let's get back up there, baby.
Let's get right back to where we were, like farming that goal. But yeah, we didn't hit that goal, so we just decided to release it anyway, even though we didn't hit the goal. Like, you know what? We'll put this one out instead of the baseball, the whole vlog.
On for the good guys.
Trip vlog. So it's all out there.
Okay.
Definitely check it out.
This is a great segue as well. I know you guys are itching to wrap this up, but you guys are just talking about South Korea. We were there, obviously. Who else lives there? Faker. He lives in Faker Tower. And you know what these guys did at Riot Games? Apparently, they launched a League skin bundle.
Hall of Fame RE skin bundle.
Full of Faker goodies. And the bundle costs $500.
It's like a classic. It's like a classic, Hall of Fame edition signature, player frame that you're gonna hang up in your trophy room. Is basically what they've released. But the worst part is about this. This isn't like a hey Faker, this one's for you. Thank you so much for what you've done for the game, because Faker's getting a 30% cut, so it's still 70% going to Riot. 30% rev share on that bad boy. 500 bones.
Are you joking? Or like
500 bones.
I mean, obviously, like fair enough. Without the game, he wouldn't have had a career. But that is very, very strong in favor of the company. Did he sign off on that?
Well,
I mean, surely he must have signed off on this.
If Riot's taking 70%, Faker's taking 30%. I think Faker should actually leave them a tip. I think he should actually give them 15% more on top. And 15% is a low tip, so I think he should actually tip 20%. Give him 90, take 10%. Yeah, he should thank them, personally. He should thank the CEO overlords, the corporate overlords at Riot Games. I think that's the only fair take.
I don't normally support this, but if you are playing League of Legends, anyone you see in-game that has that item, bully them.
Bully them?
Yeah, bullying is all...
Minus 500.
Minus 500, holy. He doesn't even use skins. Is kind of the funny part about it, Faker. He's
True,
a
he actually
he's an
doesn't, does he?
OG. He's a naked boy. Well, that kind of sounded weird, but you know, like CS players don't use skins. You know, they run the full nude on that. So it is weird to release it. It's like a 3 different tier. It's like a Valorant thing, I think as well. There's like different tiers to this one skin that kind of keep upgrading it. Anyway,
Wow.
shout out to Riot. They are making absolute killing. I'd love to know the sales figures on that. How many they actually sell.
I just want to know if he signed off on this. If he was like, you know what? Yes, take 70%. Because surely his image is worth more than that. Surely he's been scammed by his own like team. Surely, ref. Well, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Surely.
That's insane. That is
Anyway.
insane.
GG's. Check out the
GGs.
Patreon, ladies and gents. We have 50 videos, 51 by the time you watch this, I think, because there's another one coming up this
believe
week.
so.
We might have missed one last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
But look,
Yep,
we're
yep.
always on. New episode every week, new bonus content. If you want more, we're going to get up there. We currently have 634 members on the Patreon. We're going to get that bad boy up to 1,000 by the end of the year. Mark our words. Mark my words.
Well,
Get
we're
involved.
Gonna try.
Get
gonna do
involved.
everything
Get in
we
there.
can.
Get in the Discord as well.
Get in there.
Yeah, join that Chalk Discord. It's a link in the description also. Chalk. Oh, there it is. Void put it in chat. There you go. So be sure to join there. If you guys missed any part of the episode, be sure to check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. We appreciate you guys for watching and listening. We hope you all have a fantastic day, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Bye bye.